أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. قل يا أهل الكتاب تعالوا إلى كلمة سواء بيننا وبينكم ألا نعبد إلا الله ولا نشرك به شيئا ولا يتخذ بعضنا بعضا أربابا من دون الله فإن تولوا فقولوا اشهدوا بأننا مسلمون. يا أهل الكتاب لم تحاجون في إبراهيم وما أنزلت التوراة والإنجيل إلا من بعده أفلا تعقلون. ها أنتم هؤلاء حاججتم فيما لكم به علم فلم تحاجون فيما ليس لكم به علم والله يعلم وأنتم لا تعلمون. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله، اللهم صل على محمد. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. So we are here. The background of these verses is we have the delegation that came from Najran. So this is the continuation of the conversation between Rasul and the delegation from Najran. So before we start, there are disputes between the Christians and also some scholars. They say the Jewish folks, they were also existed at that time during this conversation. So the dispute that they had with the Quran about the Isa ibn Maryam, and then also the ayah 59 where Allah talks about the what is the word mubahala, uh, the calling the sons and then wives and then women and then uh, nabtahil, making dua, which is like they call it mubahala, the ayah of mubahala, and then also the ayah before it, it says wama min ilahin illallah. So I heard someone saying ma is different than the la. So ma is using like refuting something. So it's like people, they know about who Allah is. So instead of saying la ilaha illallah, Allah used here ma min ilahin illallah. And then this is the first ayah in the surah that Allah is addressing the Ahl al-Kitab. And Ahl al-Kitab, according to some scholars, it's not like general public of the followers of Christianity and Judaism. These are the people of knowledge who are the priest or rabbi from the previous books. And this now I will go to the ayah. So so Allah is saying to Rasul to tell them, Ya Ahl al-Kitabi, ta'alaw ila kalimatin. So calling the people of the book or people of the knowledge that let's come to a word that would be common between us. And what are these words? Allah na'budu illallah. Na'budu here, because they also believe in Father, right? Like they also believe in one God. So they at that time people who came, they speak Arabic, so they are familiar with the word of Allah. Even though today's Christian folks, they say we do not worship the God of Muslim Allah. We don't know about Allah. Uh, but this translation in English, it's not too old. Or during the time of Rasulullah, there was the English translation, and no one was familiar with the word word is God, but they were familiar with the word Allah. So na'bud here, this word has it has meaning of it. It is included this abd as well as ibadah. So you become abd of Allah and you do ibadah only to Allah. And it's not like you do ibadah or you become abd part time. Like for example, the Christianity, they do like they have their ritual things only for Sundays, and remaining days uh, uh, they don't follow uh, the book. So Allah is saying that the first thing is let's come to the common word between us, that we would not be worshipping or we would not be slave or abd of Allah. Then وَلَا نُشْرِكَ بِهِ شَيْئًا. So nushrika, so the first one is if we do not do ibadah other than Allah. So here Allah is saying we also would not commit any shirk. So now this shirk is about the shay'an. Shay'an means it's like thing. It's like the people they use cross or the blood of Isa alayhi salam or some other stuff that they use. Even also yeah, yeah. So Allah is saying that wala nushrika. Rasulullah saying, addressing to them, that we will also first we will not worship other than Allah, or we will not be a slave other than Allah, and then Rasulullah is saying that we will not be associating anything with Allah. It's and then ولا يتخذ بعضنا بعضا أربابا min dunillah. And also we would not take one another as a Lord besides Allah. So when this ayah came, there was a companion, I think, what's his name? Ibn Hatim or something, I forgot the name. I did not write it down. So his background was Christian, and then he said, we do not take one another as Rob. Then Rasulullah replied, like, what happens when someone makes halal as haram or haram as halal, which the Christian folks, they used to do that. So then Rasulullah asked, did you do that? Then he replied, yes. So then Rasulullah said, that is called that you do not take one another as Rabb. Um, and also there is an ayah in in Surah At-Tawbah, ayah number 31, where Allah is saying, اتخذوا أحبار أحبارهم ورهبانهم أربابا من دون الله والمسيح ابن مريم وما أمروا إلا ليعبدوا إلها واحدا. So here also Allah saying that you do not take the uh, rabbis as well as monks, meaning these two are coming from two different groups. One is from the Jewish folks, another one is coming from the Nasara Christian folks, that they take them as their Lord besides Allah, as well as Isa ibn Maryam. So and then فَإِن تَوَلَّوْا, if they do turn after all this information or after all this invitation, if they turn back, then فَقُلْ اشْهَدُوا بِأَنَّا مُسْلِمُونَ. It's similarly as what Hawariyun said to Isa ibn Maryam, which is like uh, نحن أنصار الله آمنا بالله واشهد بأننا مسلمون. And then the next ayah, يا أهل الكتاب لم تحاجون في إبراهيم وما أنزلت التوراة والإنجيل إلا من بعده أفلا تعقلون. There is a narration, I think, by Ibn Abbas. He said when this conversation was taking place, both Jewish and Christian folks were there, and then they were arguing about Ibrahim alayhi salam. And then Allah said that uh, uh, this ayah came, that why do you argue about Ibrahim where he was way before the Torah and Injil was revealed? So will you not use your aql? And then the ayah after, uh, 60, 67. ها أنتم هؤلاء حاجزتم فيما لكم به علم. So here you are, you do have some knowledge about Ibrahim. So since you are claiming that Ibrahim is yours, that means you do have some knowledge about Ibrahim. It's not that you do not know this individual. So you do know something about Ibrahim. Uh, فَلِمَ تُحَاجُّونَ فِيمَا لَيْسَ لَكُمْ بِهِ عِلْمٍ. So then why do you argue about what you do not know? What you do not know, meaning like you claim that uh, we are the children of Ibrahim, and then we are the children. Both the groups they are claiming the Ibrahim is from them. Wallahu ya'lamu wa antum la ta'lamun. Allah knows what you do not know. And then the answer Allah gave, the next ayah I'm going to include as a bonus, which is 68. ما كان إبراهيم يهوديا ونصرانيا ولكن كان حنيفا مسلما وما كان من المشركين. So then Allah gives the answer to these two groups that he was neither uh, he was neither the Jewish or a Nasara, but he was Hanifa and he was not a mushrik. Uh, I think that's all I had. Alhamdulillah, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad.
Jazakallah khairan. Thank you for your work. Take the mute, brothers.